Welcome to Girl Talk. Thanks for joining us today. We are filming here at the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company in Fitchburg location. It's a great spot,
Gorgeous.
Absolutely beautiful bar. Right when you walk in, it's almost not overwhelming in a bad way, but it's really
in a good
neat.
way.
Yeah.
It's a very grand entrance, and everything is so opened with the bar in the center. It's my first time here, but it's
really nice.
Wow.
Yeah,
Is it your
it's
first time
wonderful.
here for any of you?
Nope.
No.
I've been
Been here?
plenty of times.
Just
Yeah,
me.
You're the newbie. Very much enjoy coming here.
Yeah, it's a great lunch spot.
Yes,
I'll be
it
coming
is,
back.
And
absolutely.
dinner and cocktails, because we're talking winter cocktails actually. And
Yeah.
they get creative.
Yes, they
Is
do.
what we're going to learn about.
Yes, they
And
do.
Maybe a little taste testing.
I would
Maybe a little
expect
taste
nothing
testing.
less from the Great Dane. I mean, everything is great, from their beers to their menu, and so I'm excited to see what they have in store for all of us this winter.
Absolutely.
And we also have some lovely ladies from Mimosa Books and Gifts. Two really special females. One is a psychic medium.
Medium,
So
yeah.
she's going to tell us a little bit about
What that's like.
yeah.
How it works, how it can
And
help.
so you've never had a reading before.
That's what I was
not.
going to ask. You have, right?
I have, and
Okay.
it was intense. I've actually had two.
Wow.
Well, three if you include the one that we did on camera.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Which was intense. But they're great. If you need some like soul cleansing or just maybe a pick-me-up.
Or moving forward out of
Yeah.
an event in your life. You feel a little stuck or having trouble healing, right?
It is a great.
Or even if you're just
thing to
looking
do.
towards your future and you're feeling a little, like you said, stuck, or at a moment in your life where there's a crossroads or some kind of unknown, or you're excited about something but not sure. So a way to kind of get some validity about it. Or
So would you guys try it?
I would try it.
You would?
I've always been
I'm
interested
curious
in the idea.
if
Yeah.
Janet would try
I think
it.
I'm a little afraid.
Yeah?
That's how I feel. I'm a little scared.
Really?
I think the unknown of what they're going to say
Yeah.
makes me a little nervous.
Because they'll tell you, what have we heard? They'll tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
That's
Right.
That's right.
I'm
You have to be
sure
ready.
it'll
You have to be
be
ready
fine.
with an open mind and
But at the same
open
time,
heart.
it's really interesting.
It is fascinating, absolutely. And I'd love to learn more about
Yeah.
what it feels like to be a medium. How does that work? Yeah. We're also talking a little bit about kids with Mimosa Books and Gifts.
Yeah.
They've got some ideas. And you said
Thank
earlier.
goodness. We have Emily here today.
She's got kiddos.
It appears that they have many things in which your parents and kids can get, or with parents, and kids can get involved with as far as learning objects, moments that parents and kids can get together and calm themselves with crystals and essential oils. There's some ways that you can associate your kids with some bedtime rituals using essential oils for calming and things like that. So very interested to hear some more about that, as I have some experience with my kids with this, and it's something they definitely enjoy. Anything sensory with kids is great when it comes to smells and seeing pretty visual things like crystals. So Ashley's going to let us know a little bit more about that. Very excited to hear that.
I like the idea of involving kids, and the bedtime rituals are
Yeah.
so important.
Yeah, because
Getting
bedtime's
adults
really
to-
important.
For adults too.
For adults,
Adults too.
It is.
Absolutely.
Well, stay tuned. Ashley's up next, right here at the Great Dane.
Welcome back to Girl Talk. We're filming today at the Great Dane Pub and Brewing right here in Fitchburg. Later on, we are talking winter cocktails.
It's a good way to warm up, right? When it's starting to get chilly.
Got
I like
everyone's
that.
attention with that one. But meeting our next guest is, this is Ashley Levy, and she's with Mimosa Books and Gifts. We're talking energy healing and the products they have in their store. And today, focusing on kids and how kids can get involved with parents and things that you have in the store. Did I get that right, Ashley?
You got that perfectly right.
Okay, thanks for joining us today, by the way.
Thanks for having me.
So parents are always looking for new activities and of course want their kids to be happy and healthy, and I'm wondering, what do you have at Mimosa that kind of fits that need?
You know, we have like where the traditional meets the non-traditional, so we really have a little bit of everything in the store, but one of my favorite activities for parents and children to do together is actually coloring. And this can be really easy. You can pick up a little coloring book for your child anywhere, but to make it fun and interesting and exciting for you, we have lots of grown-up coloring books on a huge range of topics, from nature to kind of mandala meditation, and this can be a great way just to find some quiet time with your children where you're both really engaged and getting to be a little creative.
I've seen those adult coloring books. They're really kind of the rage lately.
They are.
I'm guilty. I have one. I have a mandala one actually. I love it. It's just a good way to like clear your head and do something without really thinking about what you're doing. Does that make sense?
It's meditative.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yes.
So I also wanted to ask you about essential oils. Because a lot of different people use those. Can you also use those with kids in different ways? And
You
how?
sure can. Yeah,
Okay.
you have to be cautious on which ones you're choosing. Not all essential oils are, super, super safe. But, a great one to start with is lavender, and this is really fun to just put a few drops of lavender oil with some water in a spray bottle. And for a little bedtime ritual, make it kind of like a magical monster spray. Get rid of the monsters or the bad dreams in your kids' room. Spray a little on their pillow, and it's so relaxing and soothing. And it's really kind of fun for them.
I specifically remember my mom doing that exact thing
Really?
when I was little, and you believed it. I was like, oh, I can smell it, I can see it being sprayed. No monsters.
Certainly,
I could have used that.
Yeah, exactly. I did use it. I used it both when I was pregnant with both my kids, because you can do that. It's safe for that, and as well for both my kids. They love the way it smells. It calms them down. Another thing that they like in that whole realm of natural tinctures and things like that are looking at pretty things like crystals, and I know you have those too. So tell us how you can involve your kids with crystals and the story behind them a little.
We have quite a few kids items in our store, but whenever kids come to the store, the first thing they run to is the crystals.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of, I think, something naturally beautiful they're really attracted to. So we love when parents bring their kids in and let them pick a crystal or two that they can take home. There are crystals that are great for kids who are shy or kids who are being bullied. There's crystals that can help kids sleep. And so you can tuck one in a pillowcase, of course, if your child is old enough. Or just make a little special pouch with their favorite crystals or a little treasure chest. It's so fun for them.
And it's something that they can feel ownership of, and something that they can feel that's their special little talisman to do whatever magic they need for that day.
Exactly.
Very symbolic.
Exactly. Absolutely.
I like that.
I'm kind of surprised that they would go to the rocks when you have other things like chimes and instruments and fun, noisy things.
We do,
That too.
and the cool thing about those is a lot of teachers now are actually incorporating a lot of these things into the classroom, especially the chimes. So they're used to sort of get the child's attention at first, but they're often used to kind of initiate just a few minutes of quiet time, almost like a mini meditation during the day at school.
Oh, that's interesting.
I've heard it done, yeah. It works
have
really
you?
nicely.
Yeah.
There's the teacher that a long time ago would say, okay, everybody line up. And then in both my children's classrooms now, public school and Montessori school, they use just a ding, and the kids are used to it, and they just,
It sure beats a PE whistle.
Yeah, exactly. Things have changed in a really great way thanks to some of your things that you have.
A lot more calming, it sounds like.
Absolutely.
We're almost out of time, Ashley. How about just a quick, is there something else that you want to throw out regarding kids and what you have to offer before we go?
I think just if parents allow their children time to come in and explore and see what they're attracted to, that's really what's most rewarding for both the parent and the child. Find something you can do together, make it a little routine or habit, and you'll be good to go.
Well put. And I love traditional meets non-traditional at your store. Very well put as well. You're on West Gilman Street?
That's right.
All right, go check them out. That's Mimosa Books and Gifts, and we'll be right back with more Girl Talk right after this.
Hello and welcome back to Girl Talk. We are so excited to be here at the beautiful Great Dane Pub here in Fitchburg. We're also very, very excited to have with us Brenda Hammond here from Mimosa Books and Gifts, who invited her, but she also does her own thing very often. She is a psychic reader, psychic medium, if you will. Brenda, welcome. We're so happy to have you here.
I'm happy to be here.
We have so many questions for you this morning. First one, I'm just going to kind of cut to the chase, if you will. Let us know exactly, how do spirit and loved ones come through in a reading for you? How does it work?
Well, I would hold your hands. You would come in, I would hold your hands. I'd ask you if you'd ever had a reading and hold your hands, and I would close my eyes and connect with my guides, and then I would say a prayer and ask your guides to come through, and I just would get a download of information. I would hear things, see things, know things, and then feel things, because I'm an intuitive empath, so I would feel things in your body too.
So at this time, when you're checking in and getting in your space, you're open to the communications, and the communications come to you.
Right.
Interesting. That's amazing.
So it sounds like you're inviting that information to you, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I ask their guides, their guardians, your angels, your loved ones, all to come through to give a message.
Do you know how other mediums do it, and is this the same way? You know, is
Well, I
this
think
different?
that every reader is a little bit different. Is why I always explain to people what I'm going to do. But part of what I do that's different is that I'm able to channel messages through my writing. So right after I get my messages, I'm going to open my eyes and I'm going to write. I'm going to write a whole page of information for you, and then you're going to be able to take that with you after the reading.
So whatever's coming to you in your mind, you're going to quick put it down on paper so that
Yeah,
you
it
can
kind
share it?
it doesn't really come through my mind. It's a very hard thing to explain
Yeah.
because it just comes. And so it's, you know, not of me, it's from spirit. So then it just downloads on the paper. And
Fascinating.
yeah, it is a really cool
Absolutely.
process.
So this makes tons of sense, but can you tell viewers at home why it's important to come with an open mind and an open heart when they get a reading from you?
Because when you sit down for a reading, I'm going to get symbols, I'm going to get a lot of information that might not make sense to me, but I'm going to look at you and I'm going to say, what does that mean to you?
Sure.
And messages in a reading might be for right now. I always ask that the messages be they're going to help you on your life path right now. But sometimes they're going to be things that might help you in the future. So keep an open mind. If they don't make sense, or you know, Aunt Tilly comes through and you don't remember Aunt Tilly, you know, make sure that you ask somebody at home about her and stuff. So I just always tell people, come with an open mind, come with an open heart, because the information can be life changing and life altering if you really listen.
I do think that when you an experience like this, when you open your mind, you see more things, and I guess you're more open to seeing those signs in your everyday.
Yeah, right.
So you're speaking a little about, or a lot, about the value of a psychic reading, and then how it could help in the present tense, in the present moment in your life. And also you might be surprised to have someone come through that you didn't expect, which is why you want an open mind. How can that touch again on how that helps you move forward in your life? How that can help you,
the
get
Spirit
past
is going to give you
something?
all kinds of guidance. You know, they're gonna affirm if you're on the right path, but they're also going to tell you if you're not. Because I always tell people, you know, you're going to hear what you need to hear, and not necessarily what you want to hear. and so, you know, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to make things up. I'm going to tell you what comes through. But you know, you're going to get guidance for relationships, for jobs, career. You know, just anything across the board. You know, and a lot of people, it's healing, and you know, your loved ones will come through with forgiveness, and it's just a really good process.
Absolutely.
How often would you recommend that someone come back, I guess?
Well, I think that, you know, I have clients that want to come every week. I have clients that want to come every month. But to me, unless you have something that really changes in your life, you know, and that you really want some guidance on, I would say 1 to 3 months, every 1 to 3 months.
I will say, once you start, it's hard to stop.
You have your experience.
It's addicting. I mean, just that feeling and reassurance.
We only just have another few seconds. I want to take that moment again. Thanks to Brenda Hammond, who we know through Mimosa Books and Gifts. Please let her know if you would like her services at all. And we'll be back with more at the Great Dane right after the break. Hello and welcome back to Girl Talk. We are so excited to be here at the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company in Fitchburg. And we are delighted to be here with Mr. Dario Tesmer, the Assistant General Manager here in Fitchburg, correct? Or of everything?
I'm downtown.
Downtown, so we're in familiar waters here, but unfamiliar space. Okay, all right. Cool. He is going to join us today on Girl Talk, and thank you again for being here and having us.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to talk about your winter cocktail menu, right? We're going to get warmed up. It's getting a little cool outside. Very happy to hear about it. So first of all, let me go back. How did you get your start in the service industry, Dario?
I started a while back, actually at Old Chicago on the west side.
Sure.
There I started as a busboy, moved on to host and serve, but also worked in the back of the house as well. So it was kind of launched me into the entire service industry. After that, I lived out in Arizona for about 4.5 years. And that's where I fully started bartending. And then when I moved back to Madison, I got hired downtown.
So talking about your winter cocktails, which kind of blows my mind because Great Dane is known for their iconic craft beer, but you also have all of these handcrafted cocktails and like an extensive full bar. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, when people come in, not everybody's palate is just for beer
Sure.
or just for wine. So you want to make sure that your guest is going to enjoy themselves and not just be kind of pigeonholed into just one or two items. Our cocktails are really fun, and they're a little bit more than just one or two parts. So the recipes that we've come up with along with Breakthrough Beverage are really fun for the winter moving forward. So
I wouldn't doubt anything else from coming from the Great Dane.
I love that though, because I know me personally, I'm not a huge beer person, but cocktails are so fun to explore different flavors and tastes, and you're going to try something different every time in different places you go, so that's really cool. But as far as trends go in the cocktail world, I guess, what are you guys seeing there?
a lot of it's like when craft beer first started.
Sure.
You look at the materials, and it's not just one variety of hops. And with the cocktails, it's not just a gin and a tonic or just a vodka and a cranberry. You're moving forward with a lot of different materials being blended together, a lot of different flavors that people years ago would have never thought to put together.
Right.
So you're giving your guest a new experience.
Yeah.
Exactly. Very cool. Keep it fresh.
I have dabbled in the bartending world.
Okay.
I won't explain too much about that, another conversation for another time, but I know it was always fun to kind of have fun back there, especially in a slow moment, and mix something up fun and try like a new drink on somebody who's, just happens to be the lucky one sitting at the bar. So in light of that, I bet you do that too. So I think maybe just rather than the gin and the tonic, you might have something more exciting. So is there like secret ingredients that you have just for the Great Dane, or just you maybe? Like tell us about that. Break the secret out. That's what we're here for.
There are.
Revealed.
I can't give everything away, but there are. Yes, every bartender has a little something behind the bar that they'll pull out when they really, really need to. Or they have somebody who's like, oh, I've already had that. I've already had this. Some of the materials that we'll use, we had a drink this summer that involved basil and pepper, and you would have never really thought to put that into a cocktail. So when I sat down with a gentleman, a friend of mine, then when we were putting all these together, it was like, what can we kind of wow people with? So,
Absolutely. Well, if it tastes good, it might taste really good in a drink, just like it might taste really good in food. You might just try it, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. If you have fresh ingredients like basil, I think people get excited about that. So that's fun. Okay, one secret ingredient.
Speaking of food, you guys have a great menu here, and we know that beer and food go great together. But what about these signature cocktails?
well, it's a couple of them that really jump out to me. Beer pairings and wine pairings are, I don't want to say they're easy.
Sure.
But with some of these drinks, like the Great Scott is a little bit stronger. And so with that, you could pair it with maybe a heavier meal. Moving into winter, we all don't necessarily want salad all the time.
Right.
Now,
That's just not
thank
what
you
we
for
do.
saying so.
At the time.
And then there's another cocktail that I'll make in a little bit that goes great with dessert. So we didn't necessarily shape the cocktails around the food, but there are some definitely good pairings that are out there. So
Absolutely.
it's really nice to move people away from not just beer, but also having a cocktail while they eat dinner. Maybe because they're only going to have one.
Right.
So
Sure.
might as well match it up with a good meal.
That's nice that you guys are so knowledgeable, because I've found myself before when I go out to eat and I'm like, I don't know what's going to go good with this. And it's nice when you can ask somebody, ask your server, ask your bartender, and they have that experience.
Yeah, we like to make sure that our staff is well trained
Yeah.
And so that anybody could walk in and say, and we actually try to offer it before you even have to ask. We can recommend
I like
something
that.
will go well with, with say a sandwich that you're having. And we're going to try to sneak in the fact, well, hey, you might want to try this cocktail because it does complement it.
Right.
So we try to make sure that everybody's knowledgeable.
Sure.
Snuck a cocktail in on me.
Yeah. Oh, it's lunch.
Exactly. So what do you guys have on the horizon as far as cocktails go, or anything unique up your sleeve over at the Great Dane that people may not be expecting?
I think it goes back to some of the ingredients, and if you look at the actual drinks, there's always more than one liquor or more than one fresh juice. There's definitely a combination of a lot of things that go in together. That's a little bit more complex than just your rum and coke. So
Mixing something up.
and this day and age in cocktails, they've made it so that you can batch it out so that your drinks may have 5 or 6 different ingredients, but they're all combined, and it makes it quite easy for the bartender to make these drinks and not have it take 10, 15 minutes.
Oh.
So
That's important too, because sometimes, that'll deter people, I think, if they're like, oh, am I going to have to wait, 10 minutes or something? But when it's quick and it tastes good and it's unique, I mean, that's like the trifecta of cocktails, right?
Well, and also
Did
the
I just invent
experience,
something?
because when you come to a great bar, like the Great Dane, whether it's in Fitchburg or the East Side, I haven't been to the one on the West Side, but you want an experience, and to have a great cocktail that you've never tried before, you're going to remember that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
please go ahead.
Oh, it's okay. No, I mean, we want people to come back
Yeah.
and say, you know, not only do they have great beer, but I also had a really amazing drink while I was there.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to offer.
That's why you guys are iconic.
Exactly.
Right?
And
why
it's good
people
to
know
get
you.
this information out there. Surprise, surprise. Wonderful beer, wonderful service, beautiful environments, awesome cocktails, and again, awesome food. So
Everything you need.
Everything unique, everything you need. Thank you again for joining us on Girl Talk. Thank you for having us at the Great Dane.
Love it here.
Dario Tesmer, I said that correctly,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Thank you for being here with us. Thank you again for joining us on Girl Talk and being at the Great Dane. And catch us next time on Girl Talk.